Alpine mountain huts are the best kept travel secret that I do not see on enough people's itineraries. So come along with us today because I think I have found the best bang for your buck possible. The best, most doable hike, the most lovely alpine hut I've ever found with the best food, and you already know the views are going to be exceptional. You need to add this trip to your itinerary. And so, like all good adventures, as today begins in the very busy Munich Hauptbahnhof central train station, where today we'll be riding to the end of the line just over the border in Austria. We're going all the way to Kufstein. Should be a good trip. Hopefully not too busy. That was a lovely ride as always, only an hour and 15 minutes from Munich to Kufstein. It's actually really quite short to say now we're finally in the mountains. I'm so excited. We haven't been here for years. Last time I was here, I promised you I would check out the town and we didn't. And I can't rightly walk through the town again and not show you just how beautiful it is because frankly, people are sleeping on Kufstein. You need to get out here. Let's go check it out.
So we are about to cross the bridge, and of course we are under the famous Kufstein Fortress. I am so excited to be walking by this bad boy again. The last time we were here was a year ago for that awesome medieval festival. You should watch that, link in the description below. But let's cross the bridge and get something to eat.
I'm so hungry. They'll tell you what, it is wild to be seeing this castle again. It's so impressive.
It's so cool. I love it.
What an intro to this glorious town. Where is the music coming from? We didn't put that in. That's just what Kufstein sounds like today. That's a really good ambiance to the place, I gotta admit. A triumphant return to Kufstein. All right, let's find somewhere to eat. Not a bad place for a pit stop though, huh? I mean, it's gonna be a long day hiking, but this is a great place to relax and recharge. Kufstein is very short and sweet. It's not a particularly expansive town by any means. You've really just got this one major high street with a bunch of beautiful restaurants, cafes, coffee shops. You've got the castle looming above us, which of course you know from my Austria's Best Medieval Festival video. And then you've got a bunch of lovely walks, either up in the mountains or along by the river. So it's, like I said, a fantastic, short and sweet destination. I'm glad that I could finally show you this place because it's so good. More people need to come here and just have a good day trip. You'll also have to forgive me for not partaking in particularly Austrian fare today. When we get to the mountain hut later, I promise you we'll have all the traditional food your heart could desire. But right now, I desire focaccia. It's gonna be so delicious. And you know, it will be a refreshing break from the constant amount of German food. There's a beautiful olive oil paste in the sandwich as well that really brings it together. I am going to enjoy the rest of that in a minute. But it is important that we do fuel up here now, rest while we can, because it is going to be a pretty hot hike in about an hour. I'll see you then. That was a fantastic lunch. If I do say so myself, I am ready, I am energized to hit those hills. But before we leave this majestic little town, do watch the other video about the Kufstein Medieval Festival. Take a look at the castle, take a look at that town. You need to come down here just for a day trip, an hour and 15 minutes away from Munich. How have you not been here already? However, it's not quite enough for me today. As a guide, I want to do a little bit more than that. And if you watched our last video, you'll know that we went down to Königssee and did an incredibly difficult hike to get to one of the most authentic Alm's mountain huts that I've ever been to. And I just cannot get over that video. I love it. If you haven't seen that video, please go watch it. But the problem is it's not the most accessible video I've ever done. It's not a hike I can recommend to everyone. Ever since then though, I have just been obsessed with finding a hut I could recommend to all of you at home. And I think I found the perfect option just outside of Kufstein. The hike should only be about 2.5 hours, not that much elevation, but we're hiking out of this town and into a perfect valley. It's just gonna be gorgeous, I know it. Let's say goodbye to Kufstein.
Bye, Kufstein.
And say hello to some hills. Now, of course, to get from the center of town to the trailhead that we're most interested in, you could just take a bus. It'll only take you 10 minutes, it's super easy. Buy your ticket when you get on, no worries. However, I'm already up for a few hours of walking. What's 30 minutes more? And this way, we get to go to the graveyard.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Camille's Graveyard Reviews, a YouTube video within a YouTube video. We're here at the Kufstein Graveyard, and of course I'm going to start out by giving it a compliment sandwich. And what I love is this probably has some of the best views I've seen in a graveyard. We've got the Kufstein Fortress and the mountains in the background. Extremely unique, very cool. I'm not loving that this graveyard is low on the spooky vibes. It's super bright and sunny, and we've got a lot of gravel. You know how I like the overgrown moss and grass situation. But I'm gonna round this compliment sandwich out by saying that I love when graveyards take advantage of the perimeter real estate.
Perimeter real estate?
I love it when graveyards have walls, and the walls are sort of pseudo mausoleums. We don't have a full-blown mausoleum, but we've got a little thing going on the walls.
Why are your reviews so unhinged? I really love the chapel. I think the chapel's really cute.
It's really beautiful.
It's got like a very good vibe with the kind of the perimeter that what did you call it? The perimeter mausoleums. Yeah. But being kind of capped off by that really cute chapel up in the woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really brings the space together.
So what's the rating?
That's gonna be a 3 out of 7 ghosts. Join me next time for Camille's Graveyard Reviews.
Walking through the outskirts of Kufstein is incredibly beautiful. I mean, just look around at that. However, this is really strange. We've got the chairlift down there and a person's house right here. I think I would find it really weird to just be sitting in my dining room as people shuttle past me in a chairlift. That's gotta be so weird, right up to the property line as well. I don't think I'd like that. And with that, our preamble to the hike is over, and it really has quite a dramatic start. We just left Kufstein behind. We're now in the town or principality of Ebbs, which is a very cute name. And there's just all these amazing waterfalls, the river, beautiful. A ton of people are already out here just sunbathing, but us, we're gonna be following this river deeper into the valley that it cut. It's gonna be so beautiful. If you do want to skip the preamble, and I'm not judging if you do, the bus would drop you right off here, which, you know, if you're short on time, that might be the way to do it. But me, I think that was a nice little warm up myself. Let the real hike begin. In total, not including breaks, should only take about 2.5 hours to get to our destination. So that's not too bad. Way easier than the 6-hour hike we did last time. Though, of course, the hike does start with stairs. Should be flat after we get through the initial elevation though. Oh my God. Oh, can you tell I'm out of breath now? Stairs, man, it's my least favorite thing you could encounter on a hike, besides a snake. It's stairs. You just have to lift the whole pack up with every step. Oh, it took us about 20 minutes, I kid you not. But I'm glad to be done with them now though, in the shade of the gorge on this absolutely beautiful path. This is what hiking is about. I'm a happy man now. This, of course, isn't to say that the elevation gain is over. We're not quite done with that. I'll put the map on screen for you now. It's really just the first like 1.5 kilometers, but it's just the stairs I find difficult. Once you get just on a gradient, you can kind of just keep pace. You can kind of meter the difficulty by shortening your steps. I find all of those little techniques just to make it that much more bearable. I think we're starting to make really good progress. It might just be maybe an 1.5 hours, 1 hour and 40 minutes until we're there. And I think the views are about to start getting really phenomenal as we really enter the gorge. What a good day. And isn't this just gloriously typical? We pop right out of the woods into a gorgeous valley meadow, and it looks as if we're almost in a small village. It's actually the second restaurant and guest house that you could stay in, complete with just an adorable farm. I mean, it's just so beautiful.
No matter how many times we hike in Germany, I cannot get over like how many restaurants there are everywhere. Oh no.
Oh, they are so cute.
I like all of the mocha sheep and then the one dark brown sheep.
Oh yeah.
Little babies.
I mean, living in this valley, just look at their backdrop. It's beautiful. Frankly speaking, you could stop right here and I think you'd have had a good hike. You're gonna get some good food and you're gonna have a good time. But for us, deeper into the valley.
Do you see where we're heading?
Is that where we're going?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
That's insane.
Because the Alm is kind of just at a dead end in the valley, and this giant cliff face just sort of stops you from being able to continue.
So you're telling me we're ending the day right over there? Mm-hmm. Maybe it is actually going to be worth leaving this one behind for that. That looks insane.
Yeah, we can stop there for lunch on the way back.
Or just a cheeky road beer on the hike out. And with these final triumphant steps, we make it to the fork in the road and the end of the elevation. Whew. You know, it really wasn't that bad at the end. It's the stairs. It's the stairs that killed me. But the rest of it, it's just a trundle. You just kind of have to lock in for that. And I think my goal with this is to really kind of nail the balance between difficulty, authenticity, and find that right bang for your buck. So you can have a good hike, good, authentic Alm alpine tradition, but without having to do what I did last episode. However, for me, it's all downhill from here. About 1.5 hours until we make it to our final destination. Downhill we go. This bit looks very cool. We're slowly descending down towards the river again now, which really makes me feel like all that hard work was for nothing. No need to worry about that now. Instead, what I need to worry about is the dark. We get to go through a tunnel. Oh, it's kind of spooky. Oh, it's so cold in here. I want to live in here now. You don't? No. I imagine you want to go to some nice alpine pasture.
Yeah, there are probably some snakes in here.
No. Snakes don't live in caves. Whoa. What is this? This is cool. How beautiful. Now it's a gorge. Camille's been getting on at me all day, saying that like, you need to pick. Is it a valley? Is it a gorge? I don't know, man. You tell me. It looked like a valley out there. Looks like a gorge down there.
Well, the Kaiser's.
But you tell me that's not a gorge. Geologists, geographers, whoever's domain that is. If I had phone signal, I'd Google it, but I don't. So comment below. Valley or gorge. Either way, this is stunning. Now this is a sight for sore legs. Just have a gander. Crossing the stream behind me, a small chapel, and then our residence for the next 2 nights. That's right, I'm not hiking out of here tomorrow, I'm basking. I'll hike out the day after. Now, We are a little bit on the late side, as always, so I don't know when last call for dinner is. So I'm gonna put the camera down now, we're gonna check in and figure out what's going on. I will talk to you in a minute, whenever that might be. And what a minute it has been. I'll tell you what though, not to spoil the truth of it, this place is really nice. Late as usual, we arrived at 7:01. The kitchen closes at 7, but the owner came out to make sure he could get our order, and we do have dinner on the way. We checked in, put our bags, and I am absolutely exhausted. Luckily though, we are here for an entire day tomorrow, so I think the best thing we can do for this video now is put the camera down. Tomorrow, we'll pick it back up again. We'll do a whole tour of the valley, a tour of the facilities, the rooms that we've got. We'll show you everything you need to know so you can come here for yourself. But until then, Prost. Oh, good morning, everybody. I say, already wearing my mic and hat. But no, I only just got up. That was a really good sleep as well. I mean, how could it not be? The room is simply charming, but more so than that, look at my view and listen to that water. But now we do actually have a job to do. There is a schedule to keep. Breakfast is served buffet style. I bet you it's gonna be one of those really light muesli and bread and cheese breakfasts that Camille absolutely loves. They serve it from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock, and I've got about 10 minutes to go get a sandwich and a coffee. Camille's been down there for ages. She loves it. She's way more of a morning person than me. I preferred instead to just lay in bed listening to that stream. Only time will tell who was right. Anyway, let's go eat while I still can. Okay, now with breakfast accomplished, the good thing about not being very Germanic right now and being way behind schedule is everyone has already left. We practically have the entire Alm to ourselves, so let's go give you a tour. Of course, just out this way is the garden. You saw that last night and you're gonna be seeing that plenty more later. Breakfast in here was an absolute dream, but these are the places that you're gonna see even if you just drop by for a beer. Let me show you the things you only see when you're here at night. Now, this is where the private area begins. Everything before that was restaurant, and it starts here in the shoe closet, because of course, everyone's hiking boots are dirty and muddy, and they don't want them ruining the rather rustic upstairs where people are sleeping. So you gotta take your boots off, you gotta leave them down here. You cannot be stealthy in these arms. It is so noisy, but in a really pleasant way. This view is incredible. And the coolest thing about the Alm itself, right, is the entire top floor is one balcony to another balcony with bedrooms in between. So starting from this side, let's move to the other. And because we have the place to ourselves, we can show you a bunch of different rooms, not just ours. This one is so cute. You can actually have private rooms, of course, and this is pretty much what you're gonna be getting. It's relatively simple, it's a bit Spartan, but it's also just, in my opinion, so rustic and charming. And the views and the sounds, that's what you're here for. So don't forget, you can always go with a private room. You don't have to share like we do. Bathrooms and showers, I don't think I need to actually show you those. They look exactly as you'd expect. Bear number 6, home sweet home. So this is what we had. And honestly, I don't think it's too bad. It is a 4-person room. You could book it privately if you had 4 people. We didn't, and this may be a bit of a culture shock, you will end up sharing it if you don't book out the entire room. They give you all of your blankets, which is nice, and you actually get a pillow. Oh my God, the last hut we were in, they literally give you napkins. They give you a proper thick blanket for when it's cold. They give you a medium blanket, and then they give you this kind of, It confused me last night. Maybe I'd had too many beers, but it is almost like a sleeping bag sheet, and then you put the blankets on top of you. But frankly, it's so hot, this is all I needed. And you get all of that for about, do you remember how much?
Not really, but it's on screen now.
This is how much it cost. And more so than that, it's supporting the right kind of people. This is a family-run Austrian business, so your money's going where it should be going, to the people who love this area, not just some big chain or something like that. Highly recommend it. And not that this room tour isn't vividly exciting, but let me show you one more room and then we'll get back out into nature, because I think this is the best room in the property. Room number 8, if you can get it, has this absolutely stunning, like classic traditional headboard. It's so cute, and you get your own heater.
Ooh, I didn't even see that.
Is that not so beautiful?
That's cute.
Personally, we would have gone for this, but it was sold out. So you need to make sure that you book this well in advance.
Yes. A couple months in advance.
I never really know how to do room tours. You see all the other vloggers do it all the time, and they'll show you like the world's most boring hotel room at like a Hilton and be like, look at this, look, there's a mini bar. So I always worry that like they're really boring. So let me know if that was interesting enough. But for me, I do want you to know what you're getting into. What's the food like? What are the accommodations like? How is that gonna be? Because for me, this is a beautiful place to sleep and to relax, to fuel up. But this is why we're here. That being said though, that's enough being indoors if you ask me. Let's go put our hiking boots back on. Let's get outside. So I probably should find something to do. As much as I would like to just stay right here at the Hinterbärenbad house, the Anton Karg house, the place we're staying goes by both names and I can't figure out when to use either. But I want to accomplish something, and right before we arrived at the Hinterbärenbad house yesterday, I noticed this sign for the Berger house saying, hey, don't forget about us. We're just 15 minutes past the Hinterbärenbad. The family Huber freut sich auf Ihren Besuch. I have a feeling they get ignored a lot. I don't want to ignore them. Let's go hut madness and add yet another to this fantastic itinerary. As much as we've been hiking and filming and pretty active, do you feel like a lazy bones right now?
I do. It's only noon and so many people have clearly been hiking all day and are just now arriving at Hinterbärenbad.
Is wild. Our roommates left at 6 a.m. They have been mountaineering for 6 hours and we're just strolling to get another beer.
I'm so glad that this hut, unlike the one we stayed at 2 weeks ago, has let us just like chill in our room.
But I do still feel like a lazy bones.
Yeah, but at the other hut, they literally lock you out of your room. They're like, you've got to have everything out by 9 a.m. Bye. I like getting up early, but I like drinking coffee and vibing. I don't want to get up at 7 a.m. and start hiking.
This is a very, very good hut. I mean, different huts for different folks, but this is a really good one to add to our arsenal. Not all that glitters is gold. I have to walk over the world's sketchiest ladder. Surely it's safe. Surely. Woo, one person at a time, they say. It does look awful though. There is something to be said for the fact that I think it's nailed from behind, meaning gravity is pulling the nails out. That doesn't look like German engineering to me. It's just as you walk around the forest, it's everywhere. Water is just spurting up from the ground, quite literally so. It's like my favorite part about being up in the mountains like this. It's just all the streams everywhere. A beautiful little micro hike. I guess I did all the hard work yesterday. So today it's just easy. Prost everybody, we have made it to our next hut of the adventure, the Berger Hütte, and they're serving an icy cold Stiegel that feels so good on such a hot day. For those of you that aren't in the know, Stiegl is the brewery of Salzburg, so it's not incredibly close, but it's relatively local as the Austrians might have it. And we even visited years ago now the full Stiegl brewery experience. It was the Willy Wonka of beer. It was madness. I love this beer. I think it might actually be my favorite Austrian beer.
I like Grosser.
Grosser is really good, but I never see that anywhere. Grosser, then Stiegl. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could be sleeping here. They have a full restaurant, beds and everything. They're serving lunch, though it's deserted because everyone else is out in the mountains, as they should be. But I'm on a bit more of a food tour, aren't I? Dude, there's straight up something hanging underneath.
Oh.
It's not a person, is it?
Now, here's the problem. The food on this trip ended up being incredible. So I'm really sorry, but we had to make a separate Austrian food tour video. Otherwise, this one would have been an hour long. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see every delicious thing we ate in the Kaisertal.
This has genuinely been, and I'll say it for the 90th time, an absolutely amazing food stop. I mean, absolutely blew me away. I went in with standard, I think, expectations, and they were 100% exceeded. However, we have a dark cloud ahead of us, and she's descending the mountain a little faster than I am. So I think we need to get back on this trail, back down to the Hinterbärenbad. That way, if it does stop pouring, we can shelter in for the night and eat even more great food before we eventually hike out of this valley tomorrow. All that good karma might be catching up to us. I have never seen alpine rescue before, and the police are out doing practice runs today. So don't worry, nobody is hurt. They're just practicing, which means I can take a look at it. Wow, that was so cool. I think perhaps the best part about the mountain hut is doing nothing. I mean, that's the view. Absolutely amazing. Sitting under the shade of the tree, comfy little chairs. Camille's right next to me. I haven't had cell phone signal in 36 hours now. I can't even count the last time, I don't even remember it, that I didn't have cell phone signal for that long. Between my day job, which is incredibly stressful, and then this job, which takes a lot of time too, mind you, I don't think I've just sat, read a book, and looked at a mountain in God knows how long. I don't think I knew how much I needed this. I imagine a lot of you out there at home probably feel the same way. I think it's pretty common. So if you're afflicted with stress, this is a pretty damn good salve. Oh, damn good indeed. The dinner bell has just rung here at the Hinterbärenbad house, and I'm so excited because the dinner last night was amazing and it's going to be just as good tonight as well. But there are a few things you need to know if you're going to dine here. For starters, anybody doing the dinner service is pretty much staying overnight, so you need to put in your order early in the morning. They do a standard 3-course menu that you can pick from. It changes every single day, and you're going to start with a soup, have a main course that's either vegetarian or meat, and then they do a homemade dessert. Last night's was so heavenly. You put all of that information in, and then at 7 o'clock, they ring the bell and it's time to go inside to eat. Last night they let us eat outside and it was an absolute dream, but today we're gonna get to experience the absolutely wonderful, charming interior as well. That all being said, because we're all eating together at the same time, it's a little rowdy, it's a little intimate, it's not the perfect filming location, and I don't wanna bother people by making a YouTube video. So let's switch to voiceover and let's show you last night's dinner, tonight's dinner, and all of the amazing food you can have right here. Good final morning to you, everybody, here from Austria's Kaisertal at the Hinterbärenbad house. It's such a shame, honestly. It feels like it's gone by in a flash and an eon at the same time. It's just been absolutely wonderful. But now there is, alas, little more to do. Let's go over prices, reflect on it a little bit. In total, how much do you think we spent over the past couple of days?
So last night, the final bill for all of the food was about 130 euros. So that was all of our breakfast, all of our dinners, and one lunch there.
Then we also had lunch at the Berger house, and we kind of balled out on that one. That cost about 45 euros, something like that. And then cost per night at the Hinterbärenbad, what was that like?
It was somewhere around 28 euros per person per night.
So we'll go ahead and put those tallies on screen now, and whether or not the money is ultimately worth it for you for this kind of authentic Austrian experience, that's gonna be up to you, isn't it? I think some of you will probably balk at that, some of you will think it's cheap, but actually, more importantly, what did you think?
I do think we ended up spending a lot more money than I had anticipated, but when I think about it, the food prices are pretty comparable to everywhere else that we've spent in the Alps.
That's true. I don't think you're getting much cheaper anywhere else, especially if you follow any of our other videos, like if you're in Tegernsee or in Munich. I think you're gonna pay roughly the same prices, which to say they had to cart all the food out here for you, it doesn't feel like a massive upcharge if you ask me.
And obviously the hotel prices are going to be way cheaper than if you were down in the valley, obviously, because you have to hike to them. So they can't get away with charging 150 euros a night.
Right.
It is a lot more affordable.
That's definitely true. You kind of earn that discount, if you will. The only bit that to me came off as a little bit pricey was the breakfast. It was 16 euros per person per day. Come on. So that's a little bit too pricey for me. Because that adds up, you had breakfast both days, I had it once. That's some money there that frankly could have been replaced with some breakfast bars or bringing muesli in your own pack. But at the end of the day, I would bring your own provisions, and that's where you can start saving some real money and making this just insanely affordable. And so then, with numbers crunched, I think we should conclude this video and this kind of impromptu mini-series exploring Germanic alpine mountain hut culture. And in all honesty, guys, I am so grateful to have been able to make these videos, to share them with you. Maybe you could do me a small favor and you could subscribe if you're interested, if you like this kind of local, authentic expert guide content. The algorithm often just shows the same 5 places over and over again, which is why people cover the same 5 places over and over again. But that does not mean that's all there is. That's what Near From Home wants to fix. So if you like that, if you like our mission, share it with your friends, because God knows that's the only way to really get the message out there. In all though, if you didn't check out the Königssee video, go and watch that next. And subscribe, of course, if you're interested in the full foodie breakdown. So I hope at the end of the day, you found this video educational, inspiring, and empowering to add a new type of travel to your itinerary so that you can travel like a local. And if not, at least I hope you found it entertaining. So please do support us if you can, and I will see you in the next video, wherever that might be.